Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Agro Chick, and on this channel I share my experiences of being an agriculturist, a farmer, and a student. I also show you guys fun and cool ways of how you can practice agriculture. So without further ado, let's proceed to today's video. In today's video, we'll be continuing the series Tales of Songhai, episode 3. And on episode 3, we'll be talking about food and accommodation in Songhai. So, I did my IT in Songhai Delta State, and during my 5-week stay there, we were not allowed to cook. Yes, we were not allowed to cook. So, for the period of our stay, we were meant to be buying food, like cooked food outside. So, and you guys know how expensive it is to actually buy food outside of your house. I know everybody will always say that it's cheaper to cook in your house than actually buy food, and that's exactly what happened to us. So, for someone like me that actually likes to cook and likes food a lot, it was a terrible thing. It was a really terrible thing because we weren't even allowed to boil water. So you could not even make the simplest of things, noodles, because as I said before, they searched our bags, so you could not carry any contraband. Even though later on, after that, people started carrying things, and people were running food at the side with with coppers. Okay, with the coppers that were in the coppers lodge, so they were just running things with them, begging them to use their stove and things like that. And so people also carried like say like hot plate and boiling rings, and we're just doing some noodles on the side. Okay, so basically, for the fact that we're not going to cook, made cost of living in Songhai very expensive, because you can imagine someone that eats very well has to spend like 500 naira 3 times a day to buy food. So that's like 1,500 naira 3 times a day. Okay, but for me, I can say for myself, for me, I ate twice a day when I was in Songhai. You have to use your sense to do this thing because you know you don't have the money. All right, so I ate twice a day in Songhai, and in the morning before going to work, because we leave very early by 8 o'clock. We're out to go to conference hall. Then from conference hall, we assign our various units and various duty posts. So in the morning, I'll just take like cornflakes, or I'll take bread that I bought a day before, or I just take golden more. Exactly. So those are the things that keep me going in the morning. Then by say 10 o'clock, we'll go to the kitchens. So we had two kitchens in Songhai. We had kitchen 1 and kitchen 2. So kitchen 1, aka Mama Rukewe. I would say personally, kitchen 1 was like the best for me and for a lot of other people, because of the reception in kitchen 1, and the food was fairly okay, and fairly not too expensive. So like that early morning, I'll eat 400 naira. Then in the evening again, I'll come and eat another 400 naira. So that's how I was trying to augment myself. So 400 naira twice a day, 800 naira for 35 days. That's like, do the math, 28,000 naira. Yes. So you could say I spent 28,000 naira for food alone. Apart from other things, you had to like buy a bag of water. You had to you had to refill your provisions. Okay, so guys, let's talk about provisions. So provisions are one very, very, very important thing you should pack when you're going for your IT. So these are for like the 100, 200, and 300 level students of the University of Benin who will be going to Songhai by the grace of God very soon when they finally call off the strike. Okay, so the thing is, when you are packing for Songhai, I think I'll do a video on that, on how to pack for Songhai. But let me just say this here now. Provisions are actually very, very important. You should buy like things that will last you for the whole month or for the whole time where you are there. Because okay, cost of living in Sapele, I would say okay, it's almost the same thing with Benin. But guy, if you have the money, just buy your things. Just buy your things from Benin, so that you save the stress of actually going into town, cost of transportation and everything. So apart from kitchen one and kitchen two that we had inside Songhai, we also had the opportunity to actually go out of Songhai to go and get food. So we also had places like garage. There's not one in garage food. Um, we also had Foodland, what's it called, Chicken Republic, Splash, and a whole lot of other restaurants that were actually very good, but a little bit expensive. I would say garage food and Chicken Republic were like the cheapest. I visited um Chicken Republic a lot of times. Just once in a while when you still feel like, guy, I don't try for this work, so at least I still go treat myself. So that's exactly, we usually go to Chicken Republic on Sundays just to like wind down and appreciate ourselves for the work that for the work we're doing. Okay, guys, so that's about food. Now let's talk about accommodation. Okay, so guys, for accommodation we had three levels. We had the hostel, the self-contained, and the guest house. So like I said in my very first video in episode 1, hostel was around 10,000, and self-con was 35,000, but you could share with somebody and pay 17,000 each. Then self-con was 4,000 naira per night. So this is the thing, in hostel it's just like your normal school hostel, bunk beds, and you have to share toilet and things like that. It was okay, but not so convenient for me because that's actually where I stayed. I wish I had stayed in the self-contained. uh well, I feel the self-contained is like the best place. If you're going to choose a place, just choose the self-contained. If you have the money, you just share with somebody 17,000 naira each, and like you get your privacy, you get your toilet to yourself, and I feel that's just the best thing. There's a bed, there's what else? Yeah, toilet and bathroom to yourself. Yeah, so that's like basically it. But they are limited self-contains, limited self-contains. So you like have to book on time for the self-contained. Okay, okay. Apart from that, the guest house, like I said before, some people actually opted for the guest house and I paid for it, the big girls and the big boys. And like, yeah, 4K per night. So if you do your math, if you do your math, and that's about how much? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But sha, they paid for it and they stayed. And that's basically it about accommodation and food. So the major point I want to buttress here is that if you are going to Songhai, pack your provision. Very important. Provision will save you a ton of money and will save you a lot, so that you can eat your provision in very early in the morning and eat and go and buy food in the afternoon, because that's also another problem we have in Songhai, that the food does not get ready on time. So if you say you want to like eat like 7 o'clock in the morning, you may not see food to buy inside Songhai environment because they don't start cooking on time. That was like another problem that we had. Like if you see the way we used to wait in line for food, God have mercy. Like we used to just wait in line for food by that 10 o'clock, everybody's cleaning up to go and buy food, and the guy, it was not small something, but we thank God. And so guys, the end of today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support so far. Please continue to like, continue to comment, and continue to follow me on my social media handles. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.